Hello and welcome to Overdrive. This is the new 2024 Hyundai Creta. In this walk-around video, I'm going to quickly show you the new design. So let me remind you, this is the fourth iteration of the Creta that originally debuted in 2015. There have been two facelifts in between, and now this is the third facelift given to it, and it looks very different than what we've seen before from the three vehicles. What you get is a more angular styling. They went with a slightly bulbous, slightly curvy styling with the third iteration, but with the fourth one, they have restored a bit of that chisel look that you can see now right in the front or the face of the vehicle. You've got these new LED DRLs. So this is going to be the DRL signature. It extends all the way throughout the length of the car, highlighting the new wide proportions of the vehicle. What you also get are these headlights in the bumper. So these are going to be LEDs. These are quad beam LEDs, as Hyundai likes to call it. Then you're going to see some black chrome here on the grille. There's the new Hyundai 2D logo. You'll also see a much more imposing skid plate down below. And these little elements right here are going to be the turn blinkers. So these are the sequential type. Now when you move to the side, this is going to feel very familiar to you. The diamond cut wheel design. This is still a 17-incher, but if you were to compare the old and the new, this is slightly different. Now you're also going to see cameras under the wing mirrors. This is for the 360-degree view. Now this is the side profile that I promised. It's pretty much unchanged compared to the outgoing car, save for those new wheels that we talked about. So what you get on the C-pillar is very similar, or rather exactly similar to what we saw on the outgoing car. So is the door handles, the belt line, the window line, etc. I'm going to quickly step in and show you the things that have changed inside. The cabin looks fresh, it looks new. So you're going to get that flat bottom steering wheel, which is carried over from the previous Creta. Different colors, of course. You get different upholstery as well. You will see these bronze accents, stitching, piping, even these inlays right here, even this little panel right next to the push button starter. So all of that is new. You get this magnetic panel, again inspired from the Ioniq 5. So you can stick some accessories right here. But the big news, of course, is this curvy linear panel that Hyundai likes to call. Essentially, this is going to give you two 10.25-inch screens. If you remember the screen, on top of that you had the two AC vents on the outgoing car. That has now been replaced. The AC vents are now much slimmer units that you see here. Nice horizontal units right there. And the screen now takes center stage. You get a nice flat dashboard shelf on top. So the entire crash panel or the crash pad is now one seamless unit. At least it creates that visual impression. Let me know what you guys think about this new design. I think it looks very airy. Then you also get this little rib right here. So they're going to make accessories for this as well, like a small flower holder, or maybe a phone holder for your passenger to enjoy some screen time, etc. And then there is going to be ambient lighting that maybe you can see right here. It's sort of matching the bronze accents that you see here, but that's the only bit of ambient lighting that you get. And then you get this cooled glove compartment down below. You have an 8-speaker Bose audio system that you get with the car. The door handles are going to be pretty much similar. The door pads are going to be pretty much similar to the outgoing car. So the storage spaces or the convenience factors don't really change. But talking about the ergonomics, the switchgear panel has definitely changed. It's gone with a more old school look, and all these are tactile switches, and they can be easily accessed on the go without having to take your eyes too far off the road. You're also going to get 4 charging options at the front. One is the USB-C. Then you're going to get this 12-volt socket and a USB-A port. You're also going to get this wireless charging pad. And at the rear, you're going to get 2 USB-C ports. This little switch or this rotary dial is going to let you cycle between 3 drive modes. You've got Eco, Normal, and Sport. And then you also have traction modes or terrain modes. That is essentially a function of the traction control system. This is going to be your electric parking brake. You also have the auto hold function on the automatics. And then, of course, there's going to be the ventilated seats. Both the front seats get the ventilation function. And this is for your 360-degree camera. You also get 2 cup holders here, very conveniently placed. And then you get an additional storage bin right here under the center armrest. The air purification system doesn't have a display. It's all gone into the HVAC system. The display is going to be on the infotainment directly. So that is the rear bit. Again, the upholstery that we looked at in the front, you'll see that here in the back as well. You'll see the ISOFIX style seat mounts. There are 36 standard features, standard safety features for this car, one of which is of course the ISOFIX style seat mounts. Then there are going to be 6 airbags that the cabin is going to be secured with. That is again standard. 4 disc brakes are also standard. And this is the retractable window blind, manually retractable of course. That's the 2 USB-C ports that we talked about and the 2 AC vents that you get for the rear. There's also a panoramic sunroof, and this can be opened using voice commands. Of course, you can also use English commands for this now. And there are 10 regional languages that are supported from India and 2 international languages, which is English and Korean. And that's for the infotainment that I'm talking about. The commands can be given in English or in Hinglish. So something like sunroof kholo, and it will open the sunroof. For that, of course, you are going to have to press that little voice assistant button on the steering wheel. Now, in terms of the overall space, no much change there because, like I said, this is still a facelift of the third iteration that we saw. You do get a recline function, however, a 2-step recline for the rear seats. You're going to get that. You're going to get a 60-40 split for the seats as well for that added versatility. And let me also show you the boot. The boot is not electrically retractable as some of you thought. No, it's still completely manual. And that's the 433 liters of boot space that you're going to get. As always, nice and flat boot floor. So very usable. The aperture is also nice and wide. The loading lip isn't too high. All of that gets carried over from the previous car. You see another speaker in the back. Like I said, it's an 8-speaker system. You'll see the spare wheel underneath. That is the spare wheel, and it is a space saver. It's one size down. It's a steel wheel. You don't get 5 alloy wheels. This is a 205, but a 16-incher. So a space saver in that sense. So that is the car for you. There are going to be 7 trim levels on offer. The pricing begins at 10.99 lakh rupees and extends all the way up to 17.83 lakh rupees if I'm not wrong. And that's for the base 1.5 petrol. You can also get the diesel, of course. The diesel engine, variant versus variant compared to the 1.5 is going to charge you about 1.3 lakh on top, and the automatic is going to be a further 1.26 lakh rupees on top. So between a base 1.5 petrol manual versus say something like a diesel automatic or the 1.5 turbo petrol automatic, you're going to spend about 3 lakh rupees more, and that's on the ex-showroom price, and then it gets compounded with your registration charges, etc. So the new engine, of course, is the 1.5 turbo petrol, which replaces the 1.4 turbo petrol from the outgoing car. And this is going to put out 160 PS of power, same engine that we saw in the Verna. How does it feel to drive? How does the diesel feel to drive? Which transmission should you buy? All of these questions is something that we've answered in our review. So definitely do check out the detailed on-road review of the new 2024 Hyundai Creta, and do consider liking and sharing this video with your friends and family.